Get some shadows cast, I think. There we go. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. It's early, and I should go ahead and turn this on as well. And there it is. Hello, YouTube. I'm back. Let's see. Okay, let's get going. Three, two. Oh, hi. Good morning. Let's get into the game. But first, I should honestly join the voice chat. There we go. Doing the coils. Here we are. It's been a while since we were last here. Yes, that's Orianji. I don't know how, but I swear he was. I swear he's gone. Primal Awakening is the one I need. Here we go. Orianji would speak with you regarding the unidentified primal. When the scenery moon did wane, there sounded a blood-curdling roar. A new primal had roused. The portents gave us to believe one whose identity yet lieth beyond our ken. By thy hands, 3 primals have since been vanquished. As each returned to the ether, it was observed that tremors foreshadowing this 4th grew in strength and frequency both. The being doth quicken, and in time it shall become a scourge upon the land. Yet even as we ponder the course of action, a benevolent soul did arise, one who would forestall this threat. Though she be tender in years, she is true of heart and steadfast of resolve. She would solicit thine aid if thou art willing to proffer it, lest thou wonder this maiden is of our order. Thus did the antecedent straightways consent that thou shouldst assist her, howsoever thou mayest. As soon as thou art able, hie thee to Wineport, where thy petitioner doth await thee even now. Thou shalt, for a certainty, find her visage strikingly familiar. Yeah. Orianji's speech became more normal as the expansions went on. to Wineport, which is over in Lenosha, which is Wineport is east of the ocean. I'm having to pay the full whack because of a free company action regarding money. It's been a while, adventurer. As I recall, my brother Alphino took the liberty of introducing us when first and last we met. But for the sake of propriety, Alizé Levier, I thank you for coming. I have heard much and more of your exploits. By your hand, the Black Wolf is slain and his ultimate weapon destroyed. You are possessed of great strength and courage, that much is plain. I shall have need of one such as you if I am to see my mission through to its conclusion. As you may be aware, the violence of Bahamut's fall did not change not only the face of the realm, but also the base of the realm. Specifically, it wreaked havoc with the etheric currents, creating vast confluences of ether below the surface. Among other phenomena, this led to the formation of subterranean caverns at key points of stress. Uh-oh. That ain't good. One such cavern lies beneath Castrum Occidents and extends to only the gods know where. Despite appearances, Castrum Occidents is as much a research facility as it is a fortress. Gaius van Baelsar chose this site for no other reason than to probe the caverns without interference. As she went about vanquishing the returned primals, I observed a repeating wave pattern in the ether, corresponding exactly to the dates on which you were reported to have felled Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. Upon closer examination, it became clear that these unique waveforms emanated from deep beneath the aforementioned stronghold. Crucially, I've recorded the same pattern during the recent celebrations, and have since been given to understand that this phenomenon bears a disquieting similarity to one observed shortly prior to the calamity. 5 years ago, my grandfather invoked the power of the 12 that he might contain Bahamut. Alas, his efforts failed, and he vanished, together with his foe. I would know the truth of what transpired that day. Grandfather's fate, and the metamorphosis that swept across the land. In casting light upon these mysteries, we will find a way to cure what ails this world. It is my belief that the answers I seek lie hid within the depths of the cavern. I would have you accompany me on an expedition to find them. Truth be told, I am not one to rely upon others, and have thus far handled matters alone. Yet I am not blind to my limitations. Unescorted, I cannot hope to succeed in this endeavor. I swore that I would find a way to restore peace to Eorzea. If you desire the self-same, then aid me, as you aided my brother in the Scions. I am in your debt. You're one action, and I sense that we will accomplish much together. Here we go. Let us not waste any more time. As I mentioned, Castrum Occident straddles the cavern I wish to explore. Here we go! Everything, full speed your way. Let's go! Where is it? Point me at the enemy! Speeding into the I'm gonna breach the Castrum. exploratory site gate. I've been expecting you, Knazy. By your coming, I take it you have successfully located the cavern inside Castrum Occidents. Yes. Pray choose your companions well. Because this is these are the coils. Finding coil available. It's very freeform because you can join the... It's actually very freeform since you can just... Let's see... Raids, ARR... No... There we go. Raids around Reborn, binding coil. Turn 1. Lally-ho! Time for the binding call of Bahamut. Turn 1. Guardian structures. Imperial Exploratory Site, 237 yards. Uh-oh. Cutscene. The scars left by the calamity. I can scarce breathe for the surfeit of ether. Tell me, have you ever seen corrupted crystals such as these? Such crystals manifested across the realm when the course of the great river of ether was irrevocably altered 5 years ago. Behold one of the objects that caused that alteration. A fragment of the lesser moon Dalamud. Ancient ally created Dalamud, or Meteor, to use the Guardian name, to serve as a celestial prison for Bahamut. Its fall inflicted grievous wounds upon the land, wounds that have yet to heal, as is evident from the corrupted crystals. It's a node! Amazing. Dalamud's internal defenses still function in spite of everything. A testament to the ingenuity of the Allegans. The Guardians seek to appropriate their advanced technology, I am certain of it. We are about to come face to face with secrets that have long lain buried within the sands of time. Great dangers may lie beyond, but we have come too far to turn back. The truth of the calamity is within reach. ADS. Dead. 2 hits and dead. Charge complete in 4 clicks. Cutscene. Oh my. Dragon. Gods preserve. Dark wings that would engulf the very heavens. These could only belong to Bahamut, the primal who laid Eorzea to waste 5 years ago. At Cardinal, my grandfather sought to imprison Bahamut anew by invoking the power of the 12. Alas, the Dreadworm proved too powerful, and he soon broke free of his confines. Yet, instead of resuming the destruction he had begun, Bahamut vanished. Whither to, no one knew, until this day. But I do not understand. If Bahamut is truly a primal, how is it that he retains his physical form? Did Grandfather defeat him? Or is there some other explanation? We must press on if we are to learn the truth. The ghost of Louis Soir! What's this? 6 minutes 23 seconds. Dead. Good time. Do 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 do. I got the loot. An Alagon terminal. Straight into T2. Exploratory Imperial Exploratory Site 912 yalms. Whoa. You're just... Sector 6. Wow, that was quick. Like, we got that done in under a minute. Time to go straight to turn 3 then. Binding... Oh my... That was incredible. The power fantasy is just playing the... This probably won't even be a full stream in that case. In that could... Oh wait, maybe I could continue MSQ in that for that. Engine room. 1233 yalms. Basically, those are mirror knights. love it. Kaboom. Puzzle. Free loot. The Imperial field dissipates. The teleportation terminal is now online. Huh? Nope, that ain't it. I wish I could see where. absolute comedy that is. The answers motif. Gotta love Reapers. Turn on the terminal. Do. Puzzles. Surprising lack of cutscenes too. Or boss fights for that matter. What? Nope. That's not it. That's the escape hatch. Activate the terminal. There's a scener. Drive cylinder. Depth 1,524 yards. Boys. Enemies. And now for turn 5. Did I just get mail? Central Core, 1,910 yalms. Cutscene! This is going rather more smoothly than I expected. It is indeed convenient to have a hero on hand. Gods, that the cavern should open up again, even at this depth. Huh. This resembles a finger. And so it should. This is Bahamut's hand. As for the wings, it seems to be frozen. And for that I count my blessings. But again I find myself wondering, how is it able to retain physical form? I'd assumed that Bahamut's reversion to ether was the cause of the widespread changes to the realm. But if he is still here, then that theory no longer holds. What was it then that brought about the realm's sudden regeneration? There is still so much we do not know about Contino. I haven't the slightest inkling how deep these caverns run, but we must continue. Boss? Who is... Dragons. Wormlings. Wormling. She is my dream mount. And dead. Yalagan Starglow. Hey, I got it all! Binding coil complete. How do I... Oh, that's the way out. Mapping the realm, the binding coil of Bahamut number 5. Hey, this is the segment that the ship is named after. Main bridge. activate the lift. This contraption. Is it used to control the saturation of ether? I suppose there's only one way to find out. The dragon you vanquished earlier. Doubtless you noticed the peculiar contraption around its neck. It was likely a receptor of some description, used to enslave the creature. Ancient Alag possessed the means to control dragons, it would seem. The Ishgardians would kill for this knowledge, though to be sure it could as easily be brought to bear against them. An army of dragons could turn the tide of any battle, as the Guardians once learned to their sorrow. I would not be the least bit surprised if they now sought to exploit this power. Whatever their plans, this serves as another reminder of the might of the Allagans. One cannot help but wonder how so advanced civilization came to fall. Uh-oh. Systems online. I realize I'm actually playing this out of order because I should have done this one first before actually boarding the ship at Ragnarok. Gods be good. This is Bahamut's head. And that enormous crystal pulsates as if it were a heart. And the primal that had awakened. Was Bahamut all this time? No, this cannot be true. This would mean that grandfather died for naught. Confound it! We do not know enough to strike at it now. We must withdraw. What was that? No, it can't be. Grandfather? Is it truly you? Alice, my dear. Wait a moment. Ghosts? Ghosts. Don't leave me again. Please. Grandfather! Oh, poor Alice. Remember, this is around Reborn Alice, still not entirely humbled by life. I know, we can do no more for now. This looks like... This looks like... How did we come to be in Northern Fanalan of all places? But such details matter little. Grandfather's alive, Knazy. Bahamut did not defeat him. But why won't he return to us? I don't understand. This expedition has yielded more questions than it did answers. At any rate, we should both be better for a rest. Let us return to the Waking Sands and reflect upon what we have seen. Thank you, Knazy. Without you, none of this would have been possible. Ah. Binding has been completed. Oh, come on! Hey, Mr. Carson Canada. Time for Waking Sands. Pray return to the Waking Sands. Oh look, there's Alize. She's in I'm pleased to see you again. Pretty share the fruits of our expedition with Urianger. Let us together ponder their implications. Alize's pledge. Urianger would speak with you regarding your experience inside the binding coil. Full glad am I for thy safe return. Lady Alize hath apprised me of thy many experiences. As thou wilt doubtless be aware, Master Louisoix was my lady's grandsire. Gravely concerned was I for her safety, but 'twould seem I need not have been so. With all my heart I do thank thee for watching over her. But come. Thou must... Thou must speak with Mistress Alize upon that which transpired within the binding coil. May it serve to bring us closer to the truth of the calamity. Shall we begin then, Urianger? I understand you have a report of your own to share with us. Aye, my lady. Even as thou didst emerge from the depths, an etheric disturbance betokening primal activity was observed. In Mordona was it marked first. By comparison of time and magnitude, we have since deduced its origin. The Cartano Flats. Strange. There have been no reports of primal activity in that region. It could only have been Bahamut. That would certainly explain how we came to be in Northern Fanalan. Somehow the cavern took us all the way from Vilbran to the heart of Aldernaut. It would seem so, my lady. That's all but certain then. After Bahamut disappeared 5 years ago, he hid himself deep beneath Cartano, and has since lain dormant, regenerating. Aye, my lady, taken together with thine own account of Bahamut's continued presence, the land's slowness to heal and the disorder of the etheric currents do point to one conclusion. Bahamut stirreth. If left unchecked, the primal shall drink Eorzea's life force till he doth waken to rain ruin upon the land. Leave it to me. Rest assured, I do not mean to give up, Knezi. Bahamut may still live, but so too does grandfather. For the past 5 years, he has been keeping vigil over his nemesis, making certain that the primal does not escape. Master Louis Soir doth yet live. That does not hope. And thou art certain 'twas no mere manifestation of thine all too sorely felt grief. I know how desperate this may sound, Oriange, but I saw him with my own 2 eyes, as did Knezi. He vanished deeper into the labyrinth before we had a chance to speak. 2 more like fragments of Bahamut pierced the earth when the lesser moon fell. One we have seen. If we can but find the other 2, I am certain that we will find grandfather as well. If thou so believest, my lady, then I too shall have faith. If it please you, I shall notify the Grand Companies of this development. All Eorzea must stand united if we are to avert a repeat of the calamity. That will not be necessary, Oriange. Being the great conciliator that he is, Alphinaud will seek to unite Eorzea of his own accord. If rumors are true, that endeavor is already well underway. Oh, Alize, you do not know what's going to happen. So let us leave the diplomacy to the diplomat while we continue our investigation of Bahamut. I swear to you, no matter what it takes, we will find my grandfather and uncover the whole truth of the calamity. Knezi, you have heard me swear to do those things, but without your strength I cannot hope to make good on my word. The danger to Eorzea is not past. For the sake of all who abide here, I pray that you will ever be our sword in the darkness. Well, the truth is down there. Another turn in the coils. There we go. Oriange would have you delve deeper into the mysteries surrounding the elder primal Bahamut. A crystal-choked abyss lieth beneath Cartano Flats, the unholy cradle of an elder primal. And by thy hand were truths great and terrible wrested from those once celestial depths. Yet, as is oft the case, the answer doth breed a profusion of questions, and the unknown doth beckon with irresistible allure. Ne'er have mysteries of the Red Moon lain so neatly within our grasp. Lady Alize hath sent word of her coming. 'Tis time once more to brave the precipice, and leap unflinching into the jagged wound that doth gape beneath the land. My apologies. I trust I've not kept you waiting over long. Knezi, I am both delighted and reassured that to have you at my side once more. I would not waste your time with trivialities. Let us proceed directly to the discussion of that which we have learned, and that which we hope to learn anon. Initially, it was evidence of a new primal that led us to delve into the cavern beneath Castrum Occidens, and to explore the subterranean scars left after the fall of Bahamut. As you will well recall, what we found was a vast, largely intact fragment of the fallen satellite. And within the depths of that structure, we discovered not the new primal we had expected, but the broken form of Bahamut himself. Yet even this great revelation would soon be overshadowed by the appearance of my own dear grandfather. I have since shared our sundry findings with Rambrus, preeminent scholar of the Sons of St. Canuck, and he in turn did currently furnish me with his theory concerning the elder primal's Alagon prison. It would seem that Bahamut was constructed to gather unto itself the rays of the sun, and thence channel this radiant bounty unto the crystal tower. The ancients saw great potential in Bahamut's capacity to manipulate energies of otherwise unmanageable magnitude. It was for this reason that they did bind him within the Red Moon to serve as its living core. Do you remember the sight that greeted us at the culmination of our journey? The colossal devices that surrounded and seemed to cradle the incomplete form of the Elder Primal. From that information provided to us by the Sons of Saint Canuck, we have learned that these contraptions were termed internment hooks, and that each bore the designation Ragnarok class. The purpose of these hooks is believed to be twofold. First, they are meant to act as binding coils, rendering Bahamut incapable of escape. And second, they are meant to feed him. Perversely, the selfsame energy which prevents him from moving also serves to sustain his corporeal manifestation. Bahamut is permitted neither to die nor to truly live. He is merely allowed to be. For century upon century was the Elder Primal thus imprisoned, bound about in fetters so subtle in their working, and yet so adamant that though his cell be destroyed, Bahamut lieth at the mercy of his long-departed captors. It has long been held that the Primals require the prayers of their faithful followers to exist, yet none are alive to worship Bahamut. Could it be, then, that the Allagans found a way to simulate prayer itself? Seems the only logical explanation. I would postulate, therefore, that the regenerative mechanisms in question also supply something akin to the power of prayer. Consequently, if all of the internment hooks were to be rendered inactive, Bahamut should dissolve into the ether. Upon the evidence of thy previous foray, we determined that the Elder Primal is sustained by 3 such binding coils. Thus did we commence to scour the realm, and found that the 12's wood an as yet unexplored fragment of the Lesser Moon bearing a most familiar etheric signature. And after conducting a preliminary investigation, we believe we have discovered a point from which this North Shroud fragment, and the second of the internment hooks, can be entered. As Eosia's sword in the darkness, I would have you once more lead the charge. I will, of course, be there at your side. Once you have made your preparations, head to Falgord Float and make yourself known to my assistant, Serpent Lieutenant Anel. The fallen fragment is not far from the settlement, and her position provides a convenient rendezvous point. I will break these Allagan fetters, for they bind my grandfather as surely as they bind Bahamut. And because we are going to Gridania, obviously I am going to go ahead and put the uniform on. Which fits this outfit better. Which fits this form better. I've been expecting you. My name's Anel. I have been accorded the rank of lieutenant within the Order of the Twin Adder that I may better assist Lady Alize with her endeavors here in the 12's Wood. Such authority has allowed me to act without interference from the local soldiery, and to conduct a preliminary investigation of the Alder Springs fragment. From what we have seen of the exterior, the structure shares many common features with the one you explored in Lenosha, and likely plays host to a similar complement of guardians. But I fear words alone will do little to prepare you for what lies ahead. Pray seek out my comrade to the south and west. He is charged with observing all that occurs in the vicinity of the fragment, and he will be well placed to show you the thing, if nothing less. A sharp-eyed servant and servant private. What business brings you to this broken land? Unless you fancy being ground into a bloody pulp under the granite fist of a wandering golem, I suggest you bugger. My apologies, madam. Lady Alize did send word of your impending arrival, but would seem have grown rather accustomed to shooing away some curious sellswords and reckless explorers. Behold, if you will, one of the fallen shards of the Red Moon, Bahamut. Our initial survey uncovered no evidence of the Empire's presence, which, while fortunate in itself, meant that the approach to the fragment had yet to be cleared. After much effort, however, we succeeded in carving out a semblance of a path which should grant you access to the entrance. And that, I'm afraid, is where our progress ended. The interior? Well, assuming the architecture of this hulk resembles the first. The master controls you seek will be located on the bottommost layer, past all of the ingenious and deadly defenses of which the ancient Allegan seemed so indecently fond. If you would know more, I'm afraid there's nothing for it but to brave the depths of the fragment yourself. Lady Alize will soon be arriving at Falgord. Pray do not tarry on your way back to the lieutenant's post. I imagine our young mistress will be most eager to commence the expedition. The road ahead promises peril aplenty, and I would humbly suggest that this is not the occasion to stint on preparation or provisions. May the 12 watch over you. Six or more levels. LOL. I'm gonna go ahead and pull open a bag of popcorn because, wow. Miss Fletcher, I trust the private's explanation is worth the journey. He tried to shoo me off, but I got the gist. Simply securing an approach to the fragment's entrance proved a monumental task. I dare not think what defeating its inner defenses will entail. If there is aught I might do to aid you. Lady Alice, oh, my apologies, Master Alphino. Has there been a change of plan? Urianja informed me of the impending expedition. I merely came to exchange a few words with my fellow scion before she disappeared into the depths of the second coil. Knezi, though I would strenuously deny it were she present, my sister's admiration and affection for our grandsire exceeds even mine own. Upon the matter of his legacy, therefore, Alize is wont to go above and beyond the call of duty. In our grandfather's absence, she has made the salvation of Eorzea her personal crusade. That was what prompted her to brave the perils of the first coil. Yet the fact that she risks her life in this manner is not the greatest of my concerns. No, it is her subsequent fixation upon my grandfather's shade that worries me most. This quest to rid the world of Bahamut must not become a quest to save a man long dead. My sister must needs have a better reason to fight. A time will come when the fate of the realm rests upon her shoulders, and when it does, she must be strong in our resolve, and certain of the stages for which we all risk all. Well, coincidentally, that's exactly where we are in the MSQ. Oh, skip the line, I think? Nope. There is a wide difference between fighting for the good of Eorzea and fighting for the love of a man who died for the good of Eorzea. Alisaie must choose her own path. She cannot rely on grandfather to choose it for her, for he is gone. I am glad it is you with whom she makes this journey. If Alisaie is to discover a greater purpose, nowhere better to find one than at the side of Eorzea's greatest champion. 'Twas there that I found mine, after all. But at this past time I was gone. Fair fortune in your endeavors, Knazy. Ah, Lieutenant Anel was it? I would appreciate you making no mention of my presence here to my sister. Lady Alisaie is due to arrive at any moment. I shall abide in confident expectation of your triumphant return. Second coil. I'm gonna run advertisements real quick. Oh, I'm out of glamour dispellers now. second coil, turn 1. Go. Here we are. The Black Shroud, Bahamut's shadow. Yes, yes. Uh-oh. How strange. Why could we not see all this before? Suppose it's only expected that corrupted crystals should accompany a disturbance of this magnitude. After all, the fragment likely pierced the ground to a depth of many hundreds of yards. The swelling ether leaking from the wound must warp the very air, creating a veil that hides these formations from view. Well, it's not as if we expected this to be a straightforward task. Let's tread carefully, shall we? It is imperative that we win through to the depths of this structure, and disable the mechanism that powers Bahamut's regeneration. Of course, if we should chance to encounter my grandfather upon the way, I shall not let him go again, not while there is hope that he may yet be saved. But mayhap we should put such thoughts from our mind until after we successfully gained entrance to the place. That opening up ahead appears a suitable point of ingress. Rosewood. Wow. And that's turn 1 complete. 2 minutes 50. Mm-hmm. Well, the exit unlocks the map, Chivo. I guess it's straight on to turn 2. Instant cutscene. Huh. No, it couldn't be. Being your god, Knizi. Though it defies all reason that he should live, I know only one who wears such armor. He whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself. The legatus of the 7th Legion. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor Project to fruition. We faced the right Raven, Nail Vandanis, harbinger of the 7th Umbral era. Nail Vandanis? Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised Age of Glory. It should not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Out of love for his loyal servant, the one true deity namely named Deus Danis. One true deity? Bahamut! He speaks of Bahamut! Oh, Lord Bahamut, thy name is as sweet water to my parched lips. How my heart swells at thy sacred touch. This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory and you will answer to me. Allons-y. Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning about the worshippers of a primal. God, allons-y! Lucy. And again, answers motif. Snake. Snake. Why must it be snakes? Why must it be snakes? easy. And again, I get more. That's deep. I'm reminded of the passages beneath Castron Occidents. We must have traveled quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12 be good. Sure, they can all continue down from the all the way down from the upper floors. It is difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you've already faced. It is said that the Alagons excelled in the creation of chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with 1,000 fantastical monstrosities. All to prevent the enemies of the ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. I wonder, the creatures that prowl these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Nail spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards? Jump pads! Bingo. Frontal bulkhead. What's that? That's turn 3 done. I'm getting them automatically because I was the last one in the instance. Middle Lenosha. Uh-huh. And that is... You sense the presence of a powerful mock. One big google. Oh my google wall. 10. Here we're doing a little hunt just to pad for time, and of course, enemies. And down. T9 time. T9. The hollow charts. 6,329 yards. Yo! Sure, that surely cannot be Bahamut. How? Where are we? The final resting place of Mael Van Dars. This is a grave for the undeserving. And for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too. No. In this hour of failure, Mael Van Dars felt the currents of ether begin to bear away his essence. Before oblivion could claim the last of him, a divine will reached out, and I was born. Then did the words of my God resound in mine ears. Bring unto mine enemies a crushing defeat, that they might know despair without end, and claim thee thus the victory which thou wert once denied. Closer. Fire! Surely not, right? It would seem that a little remained of Mael's essence when Bahamut plucked him from the brink of oblivion. And the result was this strange simulacrum. Nevertheless, her aura speaks great power. She channels the rage of the Elder Primal himself. Bahamut, thy wish is my command. None shall escape thine unquenchable fury. Come, ye dull, unthinking beasts, spare your teeth. They will avail you naught in the calamity to come. Stand back, Alize. We got this. Yo, gun helmet? Dead. Dead in 8 seconds? Second coil completed. Poor creature. Wouldn't you had never been born? You had surrendered your physical form and collapsed into ether, but Bahamut died and denied you death. And imprisoned what little was left of you in an ethereal shell resembling... what, I wonder? Images from your memory, perhaps? But that shell is now broken, and your primal deity seems disinclined to sustain your existence. My primal deity? I kneel to no icon. What need have I to beg for the favor of such filth? I am Nelvandanis, legatus of the 7th Legion. Now a moment. My thoughts are clouded, and this body is not mine own. Could it be that you spoke the truth? That I was ensorcelled by the Lesser Moon's ancient prisoner? That will not happen again. You speak as if Bahamut no longer controlled you, but that's impossible. Once a primal ensnares a mind, it cannot be freed. Unless Bahamut simply relinquished his claim. What need has he of a broken spirit bound for the ethereal realm? Oh, that I should fall prey to the very influence I sought to purge from the land. The irony is galling. I do not assume that all of my actions were chosen for me. It was my will that the Meteor Project be resurrected. Mine and none other. Yet it seems that my grand designs were destined to fail. Even the ungentle release of death was denied. Now, please, you must tell us more of the calamity. I must know the truth of what's befallen the world, and what has become of my grandfather, Archon Louis Soir. You are Louis Soir's grandchild? Ah, the fates are generous with their cruelty. Continue on, if you would have your answers. They await you at the terminus of your path. But know that this path leads only to despair. The light of truth was ever harsh and unforgiving. Why do you say this? Grandfather will be freed once we put a stop to Bahamut's restoration, will he not? What are you not telling us? Steel yourself, child. Only unbending resolve and merciless strength can conquer what lies ahead. The weak can do naught but weep under the pall of their own misery, as did the frail child I once was. Silence, chattering raven. Your wretched wings are broken, and you shall soar no more. My crimson moon, your brilliancy is mine eyes. And there goes Nail Vandalis. I recognize that voice, Knazy. But never would he say such words. Come. Let us finish what we came to do. All will be put aright when the final hope lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again. I'm sure of it. Uh-oh. Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling this coil will serve to slow the process. This place seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism found in the Notion Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem. Knazy, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nail's transformation, my hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain that I was going to lose you. Just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we have come. It is incredible the feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. But there's capacity for greatness, I believe, that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I have come to understand that much at least. Now go ahead, Isaac. I don't like the sound of that. It is done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianje's learned experience. Alize! Shoot him! Why? Abandon this quest, Alize. I will not countenance further sabotage of the Coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the Coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. Don't do it, Louisoire. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never. foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such sniveling opponents? Listen well, we all exist to the pleasure of one divine will, and the word of Lord Bahamut is absolute. He's been tempered. Scurry back into your holes, vermin. You've been granted this one reprieve. Should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself. That light in grandfather's eyes. He has suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire's no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. And I will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. You hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged. I wish they actually had gone back and voiced these. Oh! Alize's resolve. Alize is keen to seek Urianger's learned opinion on the disturbing events which unfolded during your expedition into the second coil. Truly, it is wonderful to escape that stifling air and return to Northern Fanland again, it would appear. I must thank you, Knazy. Were it not for your bravery, I strongly doubt that I would be standing here now. But you need not tarry on my account. Danger is past. Pray go on ahead and apprise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join you anon. I fought yet unruly and I would rest here a while. Look, this is where... And now that means pray return to the waking sands. Time to go speak with Urianger. Visper Bay. I do return to the waking sands. The triumphant hero doth return, and thine eyes speak of the dread task's completion. The second coil now lieth dormant, yet I sense tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill have cast the shadow which falleth across thy brow? Cutscene! An old foe and an old friend. So it was but the ethereal shadow of Master Louis Swat that Lady Alize beheld. An unnatural conjuration in thrall to the elder primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men! Even in full knowledge of the Shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured? Such torment did she ne'er deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if the Lady Alize did absent herself from future forays unto the coils. I've come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. My lady. I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now, let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would speak first of the coil's late guardian, Neo Vandanis. Vandanis was a legatus of the Gallian Empire who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard tales of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. Aye, he, I say, for Neo was certainly no maid. The noble house of Vandanis, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Allag. It was thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud, and seek to employ the Red Moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the Crystal Tower, and the mechanisms required to command the satellite lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Neo to construct a far less subtle mechanism. And in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Henceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Dalamud. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Vandanis' resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Neo's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first that he referred to the moon's beastly guardians. But should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship. Otherwise, our efforts to disable the coils shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal thralls. But canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thine own grandsire? My heart and mind are as one in this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method: the destruction of Bahamut and aught that might serve to sustain him. Daisy, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further frauds, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your inimitable talents. That we have achieved so much, I owe to you. I fear, however, that our trials have barely begun. Though time hath dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louis Soir, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian. Yet when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So you have found your resolve, dear sister. Will you now find a use for the secret? The key that only you and I hold. Given our familial propensity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors as well as to unlock them. And Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest, to whom the door should never have been opened. What's the plot? You can't handle the truth. You can handle the truth. Fragments of truth. Urianger would speak with you regarding your mission to prevent Bahamut's return. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness. Though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's intense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alize, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one, I prithee, Knaze. Remain by her side as her valiant blade, she might see her quest to its conclusion. Knaze, it's well that you are here. My lady, how may I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats, even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the 2 remaining internment hosts that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Bahamut leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nail Van Darnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legators to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the piteous wretch was not alone. The piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt not that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Bahamut. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again and Knaze's company. Full oft have to worry of life set events in motion by virtue of her presence alone. It's possible that she may do so again. I, meanwhile, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice, yet I cannot deny what you say about Knaze is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now we seek entry into two fragments of Bahamut. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Fanaland, and the other the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they have since found something useful to us. Let's begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Time to leave the waking sands. To Dry Bone. That must be the thing. Ah, there. I say, are you not Mistress Laches, my lady's most faithful companion? She needs, madam, at your service. And may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? My lady, it shames me to say I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there, before our very eyes. The way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of ether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems determined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we will struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near yet, and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona. Sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the Singing Shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. Wait a moment. Did they switch the two around? There it is. The singing shot. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there I feared no mountains were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I am relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. It's nothing at all, I assure you. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is likely to take time. And there's really no way of telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Found it. We are losing precious time. What are we to do now? Oh? Hello? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Bahamut. Pray escort Mistress Alize to the cerulean processing plant in northern Fanaland. There all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way? Then we must go to him at once. Experimental teleporter, I'm guessing. Let's use these gear coffers. Why not? Of striking. Of striking. Do I have those? Yes. It's actually also just pull those items out because I don't need them. High Allegon gauntlets. There we go. Allegon trousers. Sword. and sort. Paragon Curus. And sort the hats. Oh well. There's Orion J. My apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady. But 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in Northern Fanland. Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. 'Twas at the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lies to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much had I surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? Even if that were possible, would it simply not bear us back to those places which we've already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that two internment hulks may share the self-same ethereal egress. From this we did infer that others may be connected in like wise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the self-same stream, in which task we were at length successful. But then a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination, that one might reach what we may call the headwater. We propose to employ a modified aetherite which serves to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey, yet be fairly warned, my lady. As with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. That's a risk I'm willing to take. You are brilliant, Orion J. But I am curious. Did you have assistance in forming this plan? Could not help noticing your repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady, as you've correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission. Well, it cannot be helped, then. No? Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. Oh. Reborn's push. It did not despawn fast enough, so I'm hitting ads now. Bahamut's talons. We are waiting for ads to end, so... Okay, good to know this. Forked Raiju can actually work while staying hidden. Ads are ending in a moment, so that should be good. Oh, and they're using a little Ethernet shard. Verily, 'twas not my wish to withhold knowledge of the aid I received. I pray that Mistress Alize will forgive me when she learns of its source. Oh no, don't tell me, Charlian. So that must be the modified Aephorite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? Those men may be sworn flames of Uldar, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Leveilleur. Alphino, so it was you who was helping Rianje. Who else could it have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the deals of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given what is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Rianje. It was at my behest that he kept silent. We will speak later. Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Alphino be informed. Though your grandsire have become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood yet courses through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down. You hear that, Alphino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the ether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire? Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. That's why we came here. Unless you have forgotten. Gods forbid should I ever forget, Alize. But you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve. Only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Leveilleur, I would be present for his final moments. Very well. You may join us, on one condition. I make the decisions. If it please, milady, my name's Elkenrad. Our preparations are just about complete. When you are ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant. Elkenrad. I've been waiting for you, Mistress Leia. Yes, I'm pleased to say that the Aetherites primed and ready. As you know, the remaining interment hulks are connected to the fragments in Eastern Fanaland and Mordona. It's to the former that we'll be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for milady's sake if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. Whoa, crystals. Central decks, 4,560 yalms. So this is how it looks on the inside. This interment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success and we are come to the right place. There's no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. There were receptacles here similar to these in the previous hulk. These held chimerical beasts, but only the Allagons know what other abominations may be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamud's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times. Here we go. Bioweapon storage. I'm too good. Yeah. Oh, there's an achievement. Oh, there's a cutscene. Alfino, Alize. What are 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware the Alagons possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them with us is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. It is plain that no love was lost between the Alagons and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Bahamut did not want for defenses, and this we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Alagons created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alize. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of its own, that the Alagons had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I have inferred that the Priam was given form by the will of worshippers, whom we have yet to... Oh. God, strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain them? And to think I wondered why the Alagons kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Alagon Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the Primal's existence. Surely the Alagons' ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards our own kind, dear sister? Don't patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste. Regardless of the atrocities the Allagons committed against his kind, we have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the Primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. I'm just going to go ahead and change the title for both the stream and I'm just going to change the titles real quick because we are only doing it in one part. Alright, that was horrible. Oh right, that was horrible solo. Core override. Else. Scandinavian War. Why? This looks like a model of Dalamud, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him. Unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail Vandanis. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed. But knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavor. Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance. On to the third coil. On to the third turn.
Gods, he is almost whole again.
This was actually voiced.
His size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on.
Yes, a realm reborn content.
Grandfather? No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shape, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
"'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the Third Astral Era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity too depraved for their purpose, the forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance. Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god. Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Alagon's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted? 'Tis man's overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny.
This is
As long as man is suffered
to remain.
the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shape them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race. Stand together? Huh. They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us anything, it is that man cannot find common ground between his own 2 feet.
Shut
Even you,
up.
twins whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. Given your obvious self-interest, can you truly claim no kinship with the oligarch? And though I hope they might bring you closer, 'twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
Oh yeah, P's been twisted.
There may well be truth in your judgment of Alize and me, but such a one-sided tirade bemoaning the evils of man rings false, coming from the lips of Archon Louisoix. Tell me, do you champion the cause of dragons because Bahamut compels you as his thrall? Or is it because you yourself have transcended the limits of man's existence?
Ah, so the possibility did not escape your notice. What I prayed for, and what I have become. These are the keys that unlock the truth behind Eorzea's rebirth. If you would have them, then you must needs take them by force. Come, rend this divine form asunder and claim your answers.
Here's one asshole.
But I thought... No. He has become a primal?
It is difficult, I know, but you must accept it. That entity is no phantom or imposter. It is our beloved grandsire.
Please, for his sake and for ours, you must defeat our grandfather.
Fine, Alphino. Alize, I'll beat the shit out of him for you. I'll beat the shit out of him for you. Shite. Heh. A rite of passage to the H.
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than the alternative.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
Grandfather?
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
We get answers.
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become. Alfino, Alize,
If
if any here
you
should beg forgiveness, it is I.
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Oh, we are getting cutscene.
Yes, yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth. Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean
Eorzean Alliance.
'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Bahamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end.
Wait a moment. Hold up. Artbert's act. Oh my. So that's what happened that day at Cartano.
As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal. I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me. Alas, within my vast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
And still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, Much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety. But there did not need to be. Not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology. As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the Coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task. The fragments of Bahamut appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of Light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration. Whether it be for man or for dragonkind, the question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find.
There we go, that shuts down the teleporter. It shuts down the...
This portal will take you to the final internment hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alvino, Alize, pray, come closer.
Oh?
Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction, I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength, in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alvino, Alize, my darling grandchildren. May light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
This is...
Come, warrior of light. Our task remains undone.
Come on, Dad!
"'Twas a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether." He is not yet whole. I did not think him capable.
Alphino! Alize!
Alize! Alize!
I had thought it finally over. You will not survive another blast. No. Is this how I honor my promise to grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness. I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable. Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
Alphino!
How long I have waited to hear you say that. You have found your resolve at last.
Sam Riegel.
Let me join my strength to yours. In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one.
Wait a moment.
future of Eorzea!
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
You're going down, Bahamut. Dead. And that's it. That is the coils done. Damn it, I'm maxed out on tomestones now.
You did it.
Mm-hmm. Shut it down.
But one task remains.
Commencing shutdown. It's not shutting down.
With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace.
And thus do we see a realm reborn. Yes.
"'Tis done. He is truly gone." You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
I was not certain, but from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility. The scene people describe of the Battle of Cartano was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation? Well, however you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction. May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Fear not, Alfino. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough. Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
In spite of your presence, I must confess there were moments when I feared the worst. But in the end, you plucked us from the flames and bore us safe unto victory. Just as you always have. As for Alize, I have never been more proud to call her my sister. Alize's path. Alize would bring the tale of the 7th Umbral Calamity to a close. That's it. And there we are. Here we are again. After that descent into darkness. Desolation of Northern Fanaland seems paradisal. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances that the threat of a new primal is gone. Kept in the dark over long, it's only a matter of time they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Bahamut are sealed off, that the truth may rest undisturbed. But first we must go and report to Urianger. It would not do to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down the cerulean processing plant. Well. Urianger! Ah, the warrior of light returneth undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission, and yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend, but full glad am I of thy safe return. But where, pray, are Master Alphino and Mistress Alize? Oh, they're right over there. Here, my friend. Forgive us our lateness, we took the scenic route. Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe. By the heavens, look at you. What horrors your young eyes must have seen. What suffering your young bodies must have borne. Pray, tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must needs be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make for you a poultice which draweth out. Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. We took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that. Master Louis Soir. Then you met with him once more. But wherefore should Bahamut's thrall seek to ease your suffering? I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend. First, there's a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Bahamut. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past, and invite their cooperation in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith. A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Urianger and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? Gods know you have earned it. I'm fine, brother. Besides, you've been through as much as I have. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way. No, I'm naught could be further from the truth, Alize. My lady, 'tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interests at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone. I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow. And as you never fail to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. And it is settled. Rianje, pray make arrangement for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Alfino! Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not? But of course, dear sister, that which we have just achieved together stands as testament to that fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end. Of that I am certain. Thank you. There's a place that I would visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? First, I do believe a change of garments is in order. It won't take a moment. There we go. The landscape is the same. Of course, there's no reason it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear. I am well aware they shall remain long after you and I are gone. Oh. The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we? No doubt that Alfino will do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. But such truths as were revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agree that it must be so. Thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their savior, of your deeds. The injustice is almost too much for me to bear. They'll find out, in time. How typical of you, Knizzy. Ever the hero. Even so, I cannot deny I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You are the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And though these great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home. Yes, this spot will do. For Grandfather, Nail, and the dragons of Miracidia. for all those who were taken by the calamity. At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over. The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure is settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight for Eorzea. And when I do, I will fight with all my being. You've done so much for me. One day, I hope to be able to repay you in kind. I've known that you will continue to help those in need, and grow ever stronger in so doing. I shall endeavor to be to do the same, and if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are. Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alphinaud. Thumbs up. When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Here we go. We're at the end of the session. And I need to head downstairs soon for Formula 1. Whoops. That was the wrong button. Now, let's find someone to raid, shall we? Following. Let's go say hello to Pez, who's currently doing MSQ. Who was apparently doing MSQ for the first time. In Final Fantasy XIV today. So, good night, everyone.